Welcome everybody. What we're going to be doing today is backing up a Windows 10 machine, the whole disk. So doing an image using a program called Macrium Reflect. We're using the free version. There's also a paid version. I'll explain the differences later. The first thing you're going to need is an external hard drive. This one here is 5 terabytes. I got that from Officeworks and it cost me $178. I could have got a 4 terabyte for $148 and a 2 for about $120. For the price difference, I think it's worth getting a bigger hard drive, and you never want to run out of space. And so that's what the box is like. This is what the drive is like. This is they don't come with a sticker on them or anything else. This is another drive I've just picked up off my desk. I basically put a piece of paper on there with what's on that drive and then sticky tape it on. And I put it on both sides so I can pick up the drive and easily know which one I've got in my hand. You'll notice I've got P because I plugged that in as P drive on my computer, and I think that's one of the first steps we should learn when we're doing backup is how to set up your external hard drive. So let's get on with it. Right. Here is my drive running with the blue light on it. Okay, if we open up File Explorer, we will see that the drive is, it's called Seagate Expansion Drive D, and if we open it up, by default, all these files are in the main directory. I made a folder to drop them into, just to tidy things up, but I leave the icon there. The icon's what shows up down here. If I take that out of there, I just get a blank space here. I like having the icon, so I leave it there. Now, as I said, you'll see that that is registering as D drive. If I have another memory stick or something else put in my machine, it might have the D drive position and another one might have the E, and then this might become F. So just to stop it getting pushed around, as we're going to be setting it up to automatically backup, we want it to always be able to find the backup drive. So drive, in our case, we'll make it X, what folder it's looking for, and then it knows where to put it and where to get the files back from. So in Windows 10, we want to right-click on the Start menu down the bottom left here and go to Disk Management. The Disk Manager will show you, like there's my C drive, there's the D drive, the Seagate expansion. If I can right-click up here or down here, and we're going to change it from D drive to X drive, so change drive letter. So say change, choose X. Notice C is not available because that's our C drive. So X. Okay. Ignore any messages. Some programs rely on drive letters to run correctly. Yes, that's why we're doing this, so that this will always have drive X. So Seagate expansion X. Seagate expansion X. I would do one more thing, is I would right click on the properties of that drive, and as its purpose is a backup, I would say backup and say OK. And now when I look at it in File Explorer, it says backup Seagate expansion drive X. Very straightforward, but important step. If you're using Windows 7 and want to get to this screen, you need to click on the Start menu on Windows 7, then right-click on the computer shortcut and say Manage, and then Computer Management will open up, and under Storage you need to click on Disk Drive Management. And that will bring you to exactly the same place where you could right click on on the external hard drive and give it a drive letter and change its name to something more useful. Okay, so that's in Windows 7. So let's close that. Our hard drive is all set up for us, ready to go. Now we need to go to the internet and we're going to download Macrium Reflect. So Macrium Reflect free. And here it is here, Macrium Reflect free by Macrium Software. Look at the file, at the location before you download any time. That's very important. Otherwise you could be getting something ads or something that's not that program. So yeah, we want to get it from Macrium Reflect, macrium.com. So click on that. We want the free edition home use, so we click on that. We not going to bother putting our email address in, so we say continue and save file. So that will vary slightly depending on which browser you're using. Chrome, it might put it up down here that it's been downloaded. In Firefox, it's up here. I can just click on that file and run it, or I can open up the directory and double click it to run it. So yes, we want to just say download, override existing files, because I've already done this a couple of times before. It's 108 megabytes, so on my machine it won't take very long. So we're most of the way there, and we're going to just accept. So it's saying run install directly after downloading, so it will start automatically. Say yes and next, and next. Accept the terms and conditions, next. Home version, next. I don't bother registering my email address, next. Install VM boot, yes. I do that by default anyway, but it will copy the files, create a shortcut. So that is the shortcut, that's its symbol, and it's going to offer to launch it now. So I say finished, and it will launch the program. Right, this top drive up here is our hard drive, in this case in the laptop. It could be in a PC. You might have other drives, but the one with your C drive is very important. It's your operating system and normally your files, unless you've got them stored on another drive. But yeah, you always want to back up your C drive. And we're going to image this disk. So cloning is for copying a disk onto another disk. This is just making an image that we're going to store on our external hard drive. So image this disk. Where are we going to put it? Click on the little ellipses here, the dots. We're going to go to this PC. We're going to go to our X drive, and we want to put it into make a folder in the top level of the X drive. So make new folder, call it backup, and I would say by Macrium Reflect. The reason why I put the name of the program that I'm backing up with in the backup folder is so that if it might be some time before I need to use a backup, I want to know which program made the backup, and if my hard drive failed and I had a technician come around, and said, okay, I've got a backup on an external hard drive. If they open up the hard drive and say, oh, backup by Macrium Reflect, they have got an instant idea of which program they need to download to restore all your files from. But you can do it yourself as well. But very handy to have the name of the backup program in the file. So backup by Macrium Reflect. Next. The next thing is creating a schedule. If you want it to back up automatically, you can manually create a schedule, add a schedule. When do you want to back it up? How often? What time of day? And so on. There are some pre-made ones here. Because we have the free version, we only have the choice of full and differential backups. We can't do incremental. While we're doing a backup, we've got 10 minutes or so, I'll explain the difference between these two, but full and differential is sufficient. Now, a differential backup set is a full backup once a month and differential every day. So what's different? If you want to do daily backups, that's the one I would click on. If you want to just do a weekly backup of the changes on your machine, I would click on the top one and delete the incremental part, which isn't going to work. So if we did the differential backup every day at a certain time, it's going to do a backup, and the first Monday of each month it's going to do the full backup, and this is how many it's going to save. If I wanted just a weekly backup, rather than me making all the changes, I would just click on this one and delete the incremental. If you don't delete the incremental, you get an error message every single day. But that says once a month, do a full backup, do 4 weekly backups. I'm going to change that to 5. Some weeks might have 5 Mondays, some months. And at what time do I want to back up? So I will say that I want to do, 9 a.m. Monday is not a good time for me. It needs to be a time when I'm around, the machine's going to be on, unless I want to manually do my backups. But I'm going to change it from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. So click on that and say edit the schedule. And I'm just going to change the time from 9 till 7 p.m., which is 1900. Every day, every month of the year, on the first Monday, do a full backup schedule. Okay, so, and I'm going to do the same time for my weekly differential backup. So I'm going to change that to 9 o'clock, which is 1700. So every week on a Monday, do it then. I could say I want to do it on the Monday and the Friday, whichever I wanted to do, or every day if I wanted. And I can edit this in the future if I want to as well. I've got plenty of storage space. It's saying delete the oldest backup set if I've got less than 5 gig of storage space. Look, I'm going to change that to 20 gig. Bit more practical. But so 26 weeks, once a month means it's going to do 6 backups, full backups, and 5 weekly differential backups. So that's fine. And say finished. I'm not going to run it now, because if I do, it'll start the backup. And I've got one other thing I want to do, which is create a shortcut on the desktop so I can run a backup anytime I want. So I'm just going to untick that, run it now. And I'm going to say, okay, what is this backup? This backup is my Dell machine, and it's the first Monday of the month, and 7 p.m. differential on Mondays. Every Monday. Okay, so I've created a backup set. So this is in my backup definitions. I could run this by right-clicking and say run now. But what I want to do the first time around is I want to create a desktop shortcut. So I've got an easy way without opening up the program to run the backup. So now by default, it's going to offer to do a full backup every time I click on that. I'm going to make it prompt me so that I have a choice between doing the full and the differential. So, okay, I can close this. So I've now got two desktop shortcuts relating to Macrium Reflect. One to get into the whole program and one just to do a backup. So my backup Dell, first Monday, 7 PM, differential every Monday. So let's double click that one. Say yes. And first time around, I won't be able to do a differential or because I haven't done a full yet. So if I tried that, it would tell me. So I'm just going to say, yep, make a full backup. And this is all I would see. If this was the automatic backup happening at 7 PM on the Monday, I'd just have this pop up, and then when it's finished, in probably less than 15 minutes, it will pop up that it is finished, right? And it has a little icon either here or in the list here telling you how far through the progress it is. So I'm going to take the time while it's doing the backup. I have a backup that I made previously, so I'm going to show you how to restore a file. So let's have a look. Normally you do not store your backups on the same hard drive that you are backing up. That's pointless, because if the hard drive fails, you can't get it back. Okay, so this, when it's finished, this is what the backup will look like. So if this was X drive, a backup Macrium Reflect, here is the file, which is my full disk partition. So always look at the date, make sure it's the latest one. Double click on it and say yes. And it shows me this is the whole drive. So like I saw before, all these partitions and so on. The most important one from my point of view is to see, it's marked as OS, operating system C. You might have a different description for it, but put a tick against that. It offers to give it a drive letter, so it's going to give it a drive letter of D by default. I leave these alone unless I'm trying to get to a system file, which might be in a restricted folder. Otherwise, just leave those as they are, and I say OK. Now what happens is that mounts, when you've got a partition, it's called mounting when you're mounting an image, okay? So it mounts it as a drive. That's my true C drive, and this is the mounted image. So let's have a look at what C drive looks like. Apps, boot, Dell, Dropbox, program files. x86 means they're 32-bit programs. Here is users, and that's Windows. Users is very important because in there is a public directory and one with whatever your username is on the computer. There might be more than one, so you might have to look at the two until you learn which one it is. But in my C drive users and then whatever name is all my user files, my documents, my downloads, my music, my pictures, my videos, right? I open up my documents, there are my documents, right? That is on C drive. Let's have a look at D drive. Whoops. It's exactly the same. Okay. Appsdel, blah, 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 users. This is my backup. Right, so my documents are what were backed up when that previous backup was run. Right. If I was back on C drive and deleted a file, either directly from users, right, or from documents over here, that is the same as that, is the same as that, right? You know, if I went in there and deleted a file, like this took me a lot of time to make, the badges template, you know, if I deleted that, I'm not going to delete, I'm just going to drag it somewhere else. But if I deleted that and it wasn't in my recycle bin, or it became corrupted and I couldn't get it back, right? What do? My documents folder, custom templates, doesn't have anything in there now. The file's missing. So I've mounted my image. I go to my users. I go to my documents, custom office files, and there it is. That's the file I lost. So I copy that. Or it could be the whole directory, it could be all my pictures, it could be anything at all. I go to documents, I go to the office folder, and I put it back, right? As simple as that. I've just got back a file that's been deleted, or a whole directory, or every picture I've ever taken, right? I've got it back from the backup, right? So this, you know, this is a copy of that at a certain time. So when I have finished with my backup, you know, I've got what I wanted back. I then go right click on the D drive and I get the option to unmount the image. If I clicked on the wrong one and went to Macrium Reflect, it's saying create an image, not unmount. So if I'm on the right one, it will give me the option to unmount it. So that's going to get rid of the D drive. So yes, D drive is gone. Right? It's only a temporary mount. You can't change and save files in there and so on. It is just an image of that disk. But yeah, it's a terrific program, really easy to get back your files. So that's restoring individual files, restoring your whole hard drive. There's an important step involved in that. So I'm opening up the program, and over here in other tasks, it's important to create rescue media. You know, if you've got a CD burner, you can make it on a CD, otherwise put it onto a USB stick. You plug a USB stick in and you select the rescue settings, and you had the disk in there, and you say build, and you make a bootable recovery USB stick. So your computer stops working completely, hard drive's completely failed, you know, you want to copy this onto another hard drive, right? Or try and just get back your whole operating system onto the existing hard drive. Let's say it hadn't failed, let's say you just deleted a whole lot of stuff by mistake, right? You can get back here. So you've created that, you boot from the CD or the USB, and you will get the option to restore the file. You know, so it says, okay, whereabouts is the image file. You'd navigate to the external drive. I'm just cheating by using one that I've already got here, but there it is, right? And it's saying, okay, that's the drive you're wanting to recover. right? I want to restore that to another drive. So this is the image. Restore the image, and it lets me put it back on the drive. So yeah, it's a terrific program. You know, if Windows was still working, I could restore in place, right, and overwrite that drive if this was on the external hard drive. So yeah, it lets you do everything while it's running. It's it never used to be the case with backup programs, because how do you back something up while the file's in use? It does a good job. Our backup is at 62%. While we are waiting, I will show you. I've been talking about incremental and differential backups. This is the difference between the free version and the paid versions, okay? They all let you create an image of the disk. They all let you restore it and restore individual contents from the file explorer. They all let you do differential images, restore the non-booting systems, do direct drive cloning, so on, schedule backups. Now, once we're in the free section, really, that one's got faster backup and restore with the paid version. But the main difference is incremental backups. Okay, I'm just going to take the time here to explain what the three different types of backups are. Your full backup is a backup of your entire drive. A differential backup is a differential image stores the changes that were made to the merged file system since the last full image file system. Subsequent differentials can be taken, but only one differential and one full are required in order to restore the system. It is quicker than creating a full image. However, the longer time between the full and differential, the larger the differential image file is and the longer it takes to create. So we're making a differential backup every single week, and so the first week we'll have just the changes since the last full backup. The second week we'll have the changes since the last full backup, which includes all the ones done in the first week. The third one will have the previous 3 weeks worth of changes, and the fourth one will have 4 weeks worth of changes, right? And generally on the 5th week you'll do another backup, right, of a full image, right? But if one of those differential backups didn't work, you could go to the week before and say you've lost 1 week's worth. It's not a big deal. So yeah, but they have to back up everything since the last full backup. Incremental images only store file system changes since the last image, either full, differential, or incremental. The resultant backup set therefore consists of a full image and a number of incremental backups which must be presented. So down here it says from the last full or incremental. So I would say last full or incremental rather than differential. So it's quicker and it's smaller. It might only take a few minute or two to back up the changes from that day, but it will make 30 backups in a month if you do it every day before you do your next full backup. So but if you want to have the incremental backups, you could do a differential every day if you wanted, but if you wanted to have the incremental ones, then you need to buy the program, and it's about $70 for a single user. Right? This is about maintaining backup sets, which is what we did before, which was how often do we want to back up, how long are you going to keep, and so on. And this program does all that for you. The Windows backup doesn't do that. But if I go up to purchase Macrium Reflect, we'll see that a single license is about $70 for personal use. Yeah, so $69.95 for a single license for one machine. If it was a bit cheaper, I'd seriously consider buying it because I do like the program, but really full backup with a differential backup is perfectly sufficient for me, and I'm happy with it. You know, I'm happy to go that way. But yes, you know, if it was cheaper and let me do all my machines, see, I can use the free one on, you know, I can have 3 laptops and or computers and do it all on them for free. So yeah. Otherwise, you know, I've got to buy a 4-pack for $139. Okay, our backup, which was running in the background, has finished, and that is the message you saw. But as you saw, we didn't have to stop working. We could have been working on Word documents and surfing the net and doing all the other things we want to do while the backup was happening. The only thing is, if you're working on a document or something like that, you know, and you're saving it as you go, it won't necessarily, it's very unlikely to be backed up because your user directory would have been backed up first within a few minutes. And so, yeah, it won't get backed up until you do your next backup. Hopefully this has helped. I really enjoy the program, and thank you for listening and watching. Have a good day. Oh, sorry, quickly, one thing I do suggest, yes, back up onto the external hard drive, but to be really safe, you know, also do, you know, copy that file from that hard drive to another hard drive, you know, on a regular basis, or have 2 hard drives and copy it onto that, make a copy of it on another drive, so you've got 2 backups, because even the external hard drive can fail, and you can leave another hard drive at a friend's place. So if you had a fire or a flood or something, right, it's safe. You know, like if you've got someone's place you go to regularly, a family member or something like that, take the hard drive over, leave it at their place. Next time you're going to their place, take your existing hard drive over, leave it there, and bring the other one back, and just keep them rotating. So you that would give you an offsite backup, and cloud backups such as Dropbox and so on are also terrific just for the files you're working on and so on. They get backed up instantly to the cloud. So, okay, that's it for today. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.